Good morning and welcome to Wild Earth Safari this morning on a very, very grey day here at Djuma Game Reserve. It's actually quite a thick cloud and it makes it still quite dark out here. But it's also what it has done is it's upped the temperature a lot. This cloud tends to keep in a lot of the heat. It must have been here since last night sometime. Although I have to say that there were pretty clear skies when I went to bed. Some wonderful stars out there. So, my name is Mark, Seb's on camera, and Craig is in final control. And we're starting this morning with the lion tracks from the cats we had last night. 3 of the Styx Pride. They are here on the open area. They seem to be lying down in the road here. And, well, Nick and Helen are going to be helping us. They're on a vehicle, on a drive themselves. And I think between the two of us, we'll see if we can't maybe find these cats for you. And then maybe we'll look for some leopard and elephant and polar bears, penguins. Let's go for a ride. I'm just going to go and talk to Nick quickly. Okay, so I'll go around onto Zoe's. Right. If they came up here from the dam, they might have gone through that way. Yeah. But they're the Styx, so they're not going to go much further north. Well, no, they have been on both of the cut line. Let me go around that way if you want to go.
We'll go around to the dam.
Yeah, look for the leopard.
Well, also maybe they circle the
Yeah.
also.
Okay.
And we'll meet on the
Okay,
way.
cool.
Awesome.
Have a nice morning. So they came up from the dam, spent the night here on the open area, or time on the open area. I don't know how long they would have been here on the open area. Open area is void of all manner of prey species. I'm not surprised considering the cats have been around. It's a bit eerie this morning. There's a combination of mist and smoke. I think it's too warm for mist. No, it can't be too warm for mist. We've had mist in the weather. Whoops. So we're going to be looking for tracks of these cats, as well as any other tracks that might prove worthwhile to look at. Not easy to see tracks in this light on this hard ground. Of course, in soft sand it doesn't matter what the light is like, but when it's hard ground like this, you need at least a little bit of side lighting. So we went up Gallagher shortcut. Nobody in this angle. Only a hippo. What's that? I just saw something. There we go. There's a cat. There's a cat. There's a cat. So they came onto Retailer Access Road now. See if they maybe turned onto Zoe's. No, still heading west. The young males tracks. See, and then they don't, no more tracks. must have gone up the fire break. I mean the power line. Nick, come in.
Go ahead.
The track's heading west on Voya's access road. I think they turned up the power line.
Okay, roger that. Okay, we're just going to bumble along here. There's no track further down this side towards the dam.
Okay, copy. I'm going to go around Sandy Patch Way. Also, I don't know if you know about the PC Kaya.
Yeah, no, we're going to go there a bit later.
Okay, but you know where it is?
Yeah, well.
Okay, cool. So, what did anybody see at the dam last night from the camera? There, hello, elephants. Heard them all nice, this lot. Hello, girls and boys. See if we can find them. Okay, Colin, thank you. Saw the two stick lionesses crossing the dam wall, going away from the camp about 11 p.m. Just want to see how we can get in here to view these ellies. They're in a little open patch, but it's got to get in there. Nick, just to let you know, one of the viewers on camera last night saw two lionesses going back over the dam wall last night at about 11, and these tracks, only the tracks of young male.
Okay, roger that. Yeah, okay, we'll go update this side.
And there's a Flamen Blove on Voya's access, just east of Aubrey's. Pretty thick here. Nice herd, and they are making their way to the road, so it might be wise to maybe go back towards the road. So this old lady, I don't think this is Finn. She's got a very different big V notch in her ear. Finn was a young one anyway. I don't know if I've seen her. Can't remember if I've seen her before. That's quite a distinctive tear in the ear. Let's move a bit. It's not such a great view here. Thank you, Amber. Amber says she also saw the cats going across the wall. I wonder where the young male is though, because his tracks came up where tele-access were. I don't think we're going to get much of a better view of these ellies because no, can't go in there. Maybe we can go in here. Go. Oops. Nope. Let go. Let go. Oh, two little ones. Yeah, I'm getting hooked up. There's a big female there with broken tusk. I don't think this is going to work too well because I'm just getting really hooked up in this knobthorn. So, ouch. I want to see those two little ones, but I'm not sure how we're going to do that. You know, the knobthorns hooked everything, including my pants. I really wanted to go and see those lot. Things that do this wider berth. Straddle this little promenade. Hello girls and boys. There's the big mama here in front of us. She'll let us. Hello baby. Just for now that we're here. But they're two really little ones. These two mothers must have been in estrus together, pregnant together and giving birth together. And this cow in front of us is actually a huge cow. I mean, for a lady, she's big. She's like the equivalent of an Amazon. Xena, Queen of the Jungle. Very interesting question. Morning, Vivian. How soon can a baby elephant's sex be determined by the shape of the head? Very good question. Especially these two little ones. If we can get to see them, they're behind some trees at the moment. They're still too small. I'd say only sort of when they're 3 to 5, maybe. The easiest way for me to tell the sex of these little ones is seeing their reproductive organs. Put it more scientifically. She's really intent on putting one of those trees down. The one tree didn't want to yield. Now she puts her foot on it and flattens it. So I'm going to now move into the open a little bit so we can see these little ones. And let's see if we can sex them by their forehead. They're both under a year. They're both little ones. Are you charging me again? Okay, I'm going away now. I know that the one on the left is a little boy. I can see that already. She's not going to be happy with me anymore. Relax, girls. Just want to look at your children. The baby's got a very sort of flattish forehead. Hello, baby. So I can see it better than you because I'm a little bit more forward than you. I can try and just pull it. No, little one will come forward for us. Learning how to use his trunk. Oh, she's got a really well-worn left tusk. Hello, Mrs. Lately. Hello. 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 Well, we're not getting a chance to see this other calf very easily, but just at this age, the foreheads are still very sort of flat. Not easy to sex them when they're so young. Morning, Dawn. Wanting to know why they knock the trees down. Just sound up a bit. Well, Dawn was asking why they push trees over. Is it to get to them easier? Well, it depends on what tree it is, Dawn. Some trees they push over to get to the roots. Some trees they push over to get to the branches and the leaves. Some trees they push to get to the bark. Trees have a chemical defense, so when something starts feeding on them, the roots start producing tannins and can make the leaves very, very bitter. And by snapping a tree and pushing it over, it circumvents that process, and it allows elephants to feed on the leaves and branchlets a lot longer than if it was still standing. Sometimes these elephants, big elephants, will push over trees and let all of the rest of the family feed on the branches of a tree. It depends on what type of tree, and it depends on the elephants. For various reasons, but yes, it's all got to do with feeding. I've always believed as well that it's got to do with farming, that elephants farm with trees because they know they have to come back and feed at a later date. And there are areas where, here in the Sabi Sand, they use the roundleaf teak, and up where I live, there's a plant called the Mapani tree, and they do the same with the Mapani tree up in the northern areas, and they crop them. You get these stands, almost like forests, dense forests, that are all cropped to elephant eye height. And I've seen herds spending time in these forests, in these stands of either Mapani or roundleaf teak, where they can actually let the children run free. They feel confident enough that while they're browsing, the kids can have a wider roaming area, and the kids move around, play a lot. And then Dawn was asking, why is FC Final Control? Why is it called Final Control? I have no idea, Dawn. I arrived here, it was called FC. And it's just the name, Final Control Center. It's where everything is broadcast from. It's where our main hub, I suppose. The final control. Okay, let's move back to the road. They're moving into some thicker bush. We can carry on and go and find other things. We can always find others or come back and look for these. Bye ladies, thank you. Yep, this is a big quarry bush. Annette, good morning. Annette is asking if a young elephant only nurses from its own mother, or if another cow would nurse another calf. I think in some circumstances maybe, but generally it's mostly only the mother that nurses. It's called allosuckling, Annette. Lion are one of the few that allow allosuckling. Cows are known to take over calves from cows who have passed on. I think to some degree it's a personal preference thing. Elephant are the kind of animal that one will allow it and another won't. But it's not very common, I don't think. I haven't seen it. It's not something that you see often. Elephants nursing other elephants' calves. What is this? An elephant. Well, there was drag marks, but it's elephants playing in the dust. Elephant writing. Maybe one day we'll get to decipher it. And I left a branch in the road. I'm leaving Columbia and North east of Aubrey's Road on Weir's Access. Open lock. Donna wants to know how long baby elephants nurse from their mothers. But this is another thing. It's also a personal preference thing amongst different individuals. You know, elephants will come into estrus sometime after their calf is about 2 or 3 years old, and a calf can still be suckling at about 2 or 3 years old. And a female will, when she's lactating with her new calf, the older calf will still suckle even at 5. I've seen calves even older than that suckling. Because their mothers have milk, and some mothers allow it and some don't. Some mothers get quite indignant. So it's not once again, it's not something that you can put in a book and say elephant calf stop suckling at such and such an age, because where one might stop at 3, another one might stop at 6, and a lot of it's got to do with how mom feels about it. Rhino tracks in the road. Rhino's gone that way. Find him on Impala Road, perhaps. I reckon he's taken a shortcut through to the midden on Impala Road. We're now on Sandy Patch. Great day. What kind of day you want to stay under the duvet? Hyena tracks and yeah. Could be. You hear something?
Yeah, I don't know if the could also be like bones cracking, you know?
Oh yeah. Seb heard something. We're just going to have a look. Richard and Lisa. Okay, let's just listen a sec. make elephant ears. You hear better. Cut out all this background noise. Let me step up.
Some movement in there.
Let me step away from the vehicle. Not sure what there is in there.
Woodpecker.
Well, could have been something. There was a woodpecker as well making a noise. Richard and Lisa saying morning to you. No, I'm saying morning to you. Richard and Lisa were saying they know that lion kill hyena, but are they known to and have they been witnessed? Has it been witnessed? Lion killing other cats, leopard and cheetah? Yes, indeed. In fact, the main cause of the main predators, the main enemies, the main reason why, the thing that keeps numbers of leopard and cheetah in check are things like lion. They all kill each other. Cheetah, on the other hand, doesn't really have much of a chance against lion, and even leopard for that matter. There was a big male leopard in the southern part of Kruger that was killing cheetah and hauling them up a tree. There was Penny, one of our viewers, sent us a photograph once of a cheetah that had caught an impala, and then a big male leopard came along and managed to kill the cheetah, took the cheetah up into a tree, and then took the impala as well up into the same tree. And we've got this leopard with a cheetah and impala carcass in the tree. So yeah, it's a sad thing, but it happens. It's sad to us, but it's life to them. It's the way life works. If you think about it, how remarkable it is that Karula has managed to raise 2 litters successfully, busy with a third amongst the likes of all these lion and hyena. So our rhino came through this way, but I'm not seeing his tracks across the road. And he didn't stop at that midden, that I could see. Daylight is coming out, it's starting to get a bit colder. But it's lovely temperature. It's not uncomfortable. that. Oh, what's this? Lion was sleeping here in the road. This is other lion, because this is lion. It looks like they came from the west. Interesting. Lion just came out of there, slept in the road here. There's 1, 2. Here's another one, and here's another one. It looks like that could be number 4. Looks like here's more, but then that's maybe getting up and moving and lying down again. Ooh, this is different lion. Gotta be. There's more of them. Let's hope we can find something about them. They've been moved. Sure, more tracks sleeping in the road. I wonder if anybody drove here yesterday. No, that's not good. Not good at all. It's these tracks. They're sleeping here too. I was saying no good at all because I thought maybe there's tracks coming from the south. But these cats are walking up and down. So what we need to do, the thing is, we're now on the power line, and that male tracks was coming up the power line. I don't know if these... confusing. Very confusing. What we're going to do is we're going to do a big loop onto Triple M and come back up this power line. Let me find out from any of the other guys. Any station copy me? Mark here, Wild Earth. I don't know how much we'll be able to see there, but I think we ought to do that. Very weird, very awkward to get an idea of what happened to these cats if they came onto the road and were just walking up and down, lying down, moving, lying down again, there. And if you had to count the amount of places where there have been cats lying down, it's just more than any of the lion prides that we've got in the area. So I don't think it's... I think it's just the same cats that have been sleeping, getting up and turning over and walking up the road. But the tracks go up and down, and there are no tracks here and there were no tracks on the road further back. So if anything, they've been using this power line, and the power line doesn't really have any open patches to see tracks very easily. Hello Terry. Wanting to know how to tell the difference between male and female cat tracks. Well, it's just size, Terry. It's purely size. Males invariably are bigger, heavier, so they have a much bigger print. Yaga? No, I also can't copy anybody who has it. Do you know if anybody's found anything on Triple M this morning? Okay, copied. I'm about to hit Triple M North where the power line is. They've got a lot of Ngala Nkonzo on our Impala Road, but I'm just going to check if they maybe came over from the west. Okay, we'll do. I just smelled something back there. Very strong, like cat, like lion. So we got cats. Might lose signal. Hippo. Excuse me. Frog. I'm gonna get this. Follow this frog. How about this side of the power line? Besides elephant. Not much besides the elephant over here. know we will lose you in this dip. Hyena, yeah. Hyena just crossed the road behind us.
As I look behind and then turn around again and I look after you and that's hyena crossed behind you. You would have missed it again.
Yes. I looked back.
I saw there was a lioness walking.
I look back because I've learnt I have to, because I drive slowly, and whenever I'm on one of these main roads, I always get a vehicle coming up behind me and I don't hear it. So I'm trying to look backwards every now and then. I looked back, didn't see anything on the road. Seb looked back to see what I was looking at, and there was a hyena crossing the road. To show, if you blink you'll miss it. It's all about timing. I mean, it was a brief second between I was looking and when Seb was looking, and when I looked there was nothing. Oh, hyena tracks here. So that hyena is heading north. No, sorry, east. We heading south. I'm starting to think maybe, Seb, that we need to go back and investigate that area. You thought you heard something. I was going to say we thought we heard something, but Seb was saying it was either tires breaking or bones crunching. And then we heard a woodpecker, and well, who knows. Go back there and listen again. Because these cats did not come onto Triple M. Not here at any rate. If they went further north, then maybe. But I'm not seeing any sign of them. Which means that they're still somewhere on Western Gowrie. Who was sleeping here? Could have been. No, that's a lion. But that's then coming, yeah, and then they're heading this way. So that might be the same lion that came here. Actually. Again. We should go up to the top of the ridge just to have a look. I'm not seeing this cat spending any more time on this road, so Impala Plains it is. Crying. Wheel going in the hole. No tracks here. The reason why I'm spending so much time on tracks is because there aren't even birds flying around this morning. There are no birds calling, there are no birds making any movements. There's not much happening at all there. Having said that, there's a testicle on our left alarming at our presence. But there's not much else we're going to find other than following tracks. And there's an elephant, nice big bull. As I was saying, other than driving around and hoping to find something while we're looking for tracks, go ahead. Well, I found there's one spot on Triple M where one of them was mine. Looks like it came back onto Western Gowrie. I'm not finding anything on Impala. That one place where there's Nkonzo is just about 100 meters north of that transformer. Yeah, because there's also what looks like a number of them that were lying down in the road on Impala Road, and I'm still trying to figure out where they went. Thank you. One Madonna drove on Impala Plains. Oh, one tusk. Here, Wolf. No, Lucas, haven't been there yet. I know you. Oops. Morning, Squire. Something moving in the grass at the back there. One little branch at a time. Some elephants will take down a whole tree. He's just picking one branch at a time. An interesting left turn. Back again, but now we can't see elephant. Okay. Okay. But now I have to move so we can see elephant again. That tusk probably broke many years ago, and it's been so long that it's actually it's smoothed around the tip. I need to see it from the other side as well. And that's how that tusk gets so smooth over the years. Using it to break branches. Very peaceful old man. I'm gonna leave him, but before we do, I actually want to go around. There's a termite mound at the back there, and I saw something moving there. Maybe it was just a francolin, but I want to go and have a look nonetheless. Right, there is a francolin there now. Could have been a francolin. If there was anything else, the francolin would be shouting. that? Something about frogs. Burrow here that something could have disappeared in, so I'm guessing it must have been a francolin that I saw. Let's get him from a different angle. Morning, Squire. Now we can see that break. I remember seeing him a little while ago and saying how that broken tusk, when it was broken, it must have hurt because his nerve would have been exposed. It's broken so close to the base. And what looks like there's even mud packed in where the nerve used to be. You can see that almost where it was hollow in the middle, in the very middle. And that doesn't really extend very far down the tusk. But that would have...
Sure. That must have been so.
Yeah. I think I've got quite a few photographs of that tusk and him. Like another one just for the sake of it. Hardly. 1 out of 5. Haven't you eaten enough from that little tree? little black monkey thorn. By the looks of things. Just putting them, instead of breaking the branch off, he's just putting it in his mouth and chewing it on the tree. You can actually see just in front of me there's another little acacia that same thing was done. We'll see that in a sec. But yeah, just that branch sticking out towards us. An elephant is broken, but it hasn't taken the whole branch off. It's just chewed the edge off of it without breaking it. Just come and say hello, old man. If you're wandering west, I don't know when we'll see you again. Got a nice big lump on his shoulder, just below his shoulder, just underneath his ear. Like a little abscess or something there, maybe a fatty deposit. I've got a lump like that on between my shoulder blades, like a, I don't know what it is. Nothing serious. Lovely. Oh, just so peaceful. Just, you know, when he didn't even throw his head at us, he didn't do anything bad.
So gentle.
Yeah.
Pushing that tree down.
Yeah, getting to the base of it. Might push it over. We can try around there if he does.
Go.
Too late, he's already pushing it. He's going to get to the roots of that combretum. We'll see if we can get a closer view of that. Oh no, changed my mind. We were going to leave him a little ago, but didn't really push it. Okay, let's leave him be. Although I don't know if we're going to get back to the road through here. We might as well go back. Way. Lion here again, but they went south. Lion, come in. on. Ryan, come in. Ryan, if you copy me, go to my channel. Okay, we're not going back north, we're going south. We're going to Zoe's Road. These cats, these are different cats. These could be, I don't know, maybe Tsalalas. Maybe, I don't know who they could be. But the two Styx lionesses ended up going up Central Road last night, and then they evidently branched off towards Buffelshoek Dam or something. We'll get there eventually. These cats, on the other hand, headed south. And my guess is that they must have eventually got onto Triple M. Even if they weren't on Triple M where we were looking. Other alternative is let's go up towards Zoe's Road and see if we're lucky. There's a remote possibility that they went that way. Leaving this Madod Love on the northern end of the Impala Plains open lot.
Marcus, copy heading towards Elephant Hill Road.
Okay, thanks, Nick. A bunch of other Ngala tracks on Impala Road, just heading past Impala Plains and going south.
Copy that.
Oh, look what he's been doing. He's been busy here. I don't know if it's him. There were other elephant tracks on the road here. Could have been him. Could be another one. But this is an elephant that's quite intent on closing the road. Wow. Made a pretty good job of it too. Get around. Ow, ow. That hurt, that stung. Got whipped in the face. On the temple. Okay, so a few questions that have been lining up because we've been out of radio comms, radio signal hasn't been good. So, who wants to know what? Brown snake eagle up in the tree. Richard and Lisa, something about the grazing animals. And then it cut out. Richard and Lisa wanting to know if all the herbivores are ruminants. No. Elephant or not. Zebra or not. Rhino and hippo or not. But all the antelope and the giraffe are ruminants. I think we can count the warthog because it's more omnivorous. Oh, don't fly, child. Brown snake eagle. Very optimistic brown snake eagle. Don't know how many snakes are going to be moving around this time of the day in this grey weather. Although temperature's not that cold. Been a bunch of little nocturnal animals here. Civet, Janet. But no cats. Amber wants to know, why is it that lions in this area leave humans alone and don't feel the need to attack them? It doesn't occur to them to attack them, Amber. It's not in their nature. It's why would the lions attack the people? See, there's a misconception by a lot of people who, well, I guess it's just all a matter of what you're told when you're growing up and things. And I have to be honest, I was the same at first as a little kid, being taken to Kruger under the misconception that if you take one step, 1 foot outside of that vehicle, someone's gonna just rush in and grab you. But it doesn't happen that way. There's no reason for them to attack for no reason. Lions actually know all about humans. Call it genetic memory. I don't know what you call it, but you know, we as a species have been around a long time, long before vehicles and, well, modern times. The last few million years, in fact, there have been hominids of sorts hunting and gathering in the same land as the lion. And they're wary of us. All the time that I've spent on foot in Africa, in different parts of Africa, some really, really remote parts of Africa where the lions actually run away from vehicles because they're scared of vehicles. They're not as accustomed to things as they are here. Places like that where you'd expect them to be wilder and more aggressive. Every time I've seen lion on foot, they run away. Not every time. 99% of the time. They see a human, they run away. So it's more the question, should we not, why don't they attack? It's more a question of, if it does happen, but that's the anomaly, then one would ask, why did it attack? Because that would be questionable. It's normal behavior that they don't. It's not to say that when you see lion you can just get out of the car and go walk up to them. That isn't going to happen. That is asking for trouble. Morning. Hi. Sorry? Fine, and you? Are you going down to Mpisi? Okay. Alright. Did you just come up Zoe's Road?
No, I come there on Chipul.
Did you see Ngala Mkonzo?
No, I just said the Ngalampo going up on Central.
Yeah.
Went from Central to the Road.
Okay.
Down to them, so I lost them somewhere.
Because this is different Ngala. They were on Impala Road.
Yeah.
I think it's 4 of maybe even the 5 Mafazis.
Oh,
But they went along Impala Road, just going south on the western side of Impala Plains. I'm going to go down Zoe's. I'll have a look this way.
all right.
Bye. Net. Hello, Net loves frogs. What's the biggest frog we have here? The giant African bullfrog. Here's our biggest frog, Net. How big is it? It's big. They can weigh up to a kilo or two. They're huge. They're like this. They eat snakes for breakfast. Davina wants to know if an elephant can survive without tusks, and yes they can, Davina. Some elephants are born with rudimentary tusks that don't even get further than their upper lip. What we might perceive as a tuskless elephant is actually an elephant whose tusks just haven't developed. And they do fine. They managed to cope quite well. There was in East Africa, as a result of extensive poaching in the 80s and early 90s, there was actually what occurred was a lot of elephant that had no tusks obviously were poached. So they were the elephants that then were the breeding stock for some areas. Not to say all, but there's a much higher percentage of tusklessness in some areas where poaching was so rife, because the tuskless elephants were left alone, and they, as I say, they became the breeding stock, and since they were the breeding stock, they managed to pass on that gene for, I suppose we could call it vestigial tusks. And in theory, if humans continue the way they are, or if they were, excuse me, go ahead. Yeah, thanks Ryan. Yeah, I just found their tracks again on Impala Road heading south, so they must have hit Triple M south of where I left Triple M. You know which Igala it is? Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, thanks bud. We had others that are up near Bimbleshoek Dam. I'll go look for them.
Are you the only one driving that side?
Lucas is also driving and Nick is out.
Good morning, go ahead. How's that, are you? No complaints. If you guys want to go across it over Scala, I know if you want to come to that side.
Terry wants to know, hello, I saw something to show you. Elephant tusks part of the skull. Yes, they're teeth. The same as our front teeth are part of our skull. Sorry, I saw something else while I'm looking for something else. A very interesting little toy hanging in a tree. There. I've shown you this before, but maybe some of you didn't see it before. I can pick this one off because it makes it easier to show you, because a bird has actually got inside here. And let me see, if we put it here, now these are sticks that are all sewn together. This is the branch it was on, and there's the silk that was holding it to the branch. That was actually hanging this way. Let's do it that way, but it's going to move a bit. This is the bag of the bagworm caterpillar, and she cuts these sticks all the same length, or most of them, and sews them together to make this bag. But you see it's been torn open, and that is because a bird must have got in there. Birds know that these are juicy caterpillars, and when birds find these, especially the shrikes, they know how to get into them, and this has been torn open. And if I open it for you a little bit more, you can see what it looks like inside. Actually, this must have been here for a long time, because that is a little spider web. That's one of the jumping spiders' retreats inside this old bagworm nest, not a nest, it's a bagworm casing, because the caterpillar lives in here, and the female caterpillar lives in here all her life. The male pupates and becomes a moth. She doesn't. She actually lays eggs from the caterpillar stage, or an advanced larval stage that actually has her reproductive system going. But look how neatly that's all sewn together. It's lined with silk. Impressive bit of engineering by nature, by a mere insect, and even then it's not even an adult, it's a larva of an insect that does this. You know, there's so many things in nature that insects and creatures and birds and things have been doing for millions of years that we have copied. Things that we still naively believe that we were the ones that invented it. Meanwhile, nature did so a long time ago, and it was just some observant hominid way back when, observing insects or birds or animals doing things, and then modifying that behavior, copying it and using it for their own benefit. Where the bagworm comes in, I don't know. Maybe in some ways putting something together, but not necessarily the bagworm. Things like clay pots that we learned from potter wasps. Anyhow, lots of examples of those. Here's some impala. So the Talalas have already left the world that we're in. They've gone west, southwest. What's up, little impala? We're going to go look for that rhino. There was a rhino near Treehouse Dam. And then we're going to go and look around Gari Dam. I want to know who that leopard was. I think it might have been in Duna. We're here last night. Maybe they and the sticks were talking to each other, keeping their distance. Rhino tracks. Might be the same rhino that was walking this way, went through Treehouse Dam and then back up again. Tends to be the same path that Shorthorn follows. Laurie wants to know, actually I meant to show you this a while ago. Let me show you now. Laurie wants to know, well, saying that elephants seem to chew quite slowly and deliberately. What do their teeth look like in the back of their mouths? Well, it's a big molar set. It's a big chunk. I wish I could have gotten hold of that elephant skull that Graham had before he left, to have been able to show you. But I have one of my books here that I haven't brought along before on drive, and I was looking in it for a couple of things. It was a while ago we were talking about kudu horns, and I was saying somewhere in one of my books I've got the different stages of kudu horn growth. And I was looking in this book, and it turned out that actually it's not the right book for the kudu horn growth, but it is the book that shows the different ages of elephants' teeth, and it also shows the different ages of buffalo horns, and it also shows the different sizes of elephants. So let me do a little bit of a lesson quickly while we're here on Philemon's Cut Line. A nice view down there across this smoky, misty valley. So let's see what we can do about this. Now, this is a very interesting book. It's kind of a general. It's called The Wilderness Guardian. It's by an incredible gentleman by the name of Tim Caulfield. I met Tim. He's a guide up in Kenya. He's not a youngster. Up in Kenya, the guiding industry is a little bit different. There, mostly you only get guys my age and into their 50s and 60s who are the big professional guides. Anything under that is just a driver. Oh, we've got traffic. Alright, let me just move out of the way. So, oh, don't want to see that picture. It's got everything in this book, absolutely everything. But the one thing, let's get to elephant teeth first, if I can find it. No, not there. Knots and cooking and setting up camp and building things and making windmills, and I'm sure it was in this book. Launching boats, fixing tires. I'm sure, come on, it was in this book. I know it's in this book. What's Lucas watching? Maybe there's an animal there that we could be watching. We got something there, Lucas? Oh, it's kudu. Chabalal Nongo. Ah, here we go. Looks like we're getting closer. We're getting to insects, ecology and natural history. Wild dogs, grazers, ecotones, fish. Now we're getting bigger. There we go. Elephant's teeth. This has also got a nice scale. It's all black and white, but let me show you. It shows you here on the left. Gives you the different sizes of elephants in comparison to adults and the ages. It shows on this little one just to the right, sorry, that's the average 1-year-old calf. 1 year and under can walk between its mother's front legs. And then here are the teeth. Now, if we go to, let's say, over here, down here at the bottom, that's what an adult molar set looks like. This is sort of an elephant in their 40s with the 6th set of molars in their late 40s, getting towards the age of 50. Their 6th set of teeth, which is this set, is in use at the moment. Now, elephant tooth replacement is horizontal, it's not vertical. The new teeth don't come up from underneath the old teeth. It's the new teeth start forming at the back of the jaw. So at the first, when an elephant is born, they're born with their first set of molars, which is just a tiny little sort of three-ridged tooth in the front. The second set of molars are coming into play already, and just in the back of the jaw, the third set of molars are just beginning to erupt. And that's sort of up till about the age of 2, where you get the second set of molars just beginning to wear. From about the age of 2 to 5, the second set of molars are beginning to move forward and fragment in the jaw, and the third set of molars is starting to come out. And it's only at about the age of 8 or 9 or so, going on to 10, where the third set of molars, which is about the width of my finger there in this jaw, the third set of molars is in use, and there at the back of the jaw is just these sort of little lumps of the fourth set of molars coming out. And then by the age of 20, the fourth set of molars is starting to wear to the front of the jaw, and it's starting to fragment, and the fifth is starting to come out. By the age of 30, the fourth set is almost finished, and the fifth set is in use. And by the end of the 30s, their fifth set of molars is moving forward, and you can start seeing the sixth set of molars coming in. And from the age of sort of early 30s to early 40s, you've got the last bit of molar, the fifth molar, and the sixth set just coming into play. It's not really fully erupted. It's only in their 40s that the sixth set of molars is fully erupted. And then going on up to about the age of 60, that's when the last set of molars then starts wearing out, and that's when that poor elephant is going to no longer be able to eat properly. So as Tim is saying in his book, this is the 10 critical molar stages, but they recognize 30 different stages of molar wear. Although there are only 6 sets, there are evidently something like 30 different stages of molar wear. Now we go into, I'll just show you. We look at a waterbuck and the ages of horns and how you can tell the ages. Now you can try and sort of, although waterbuck, the horns are very different to that of a kudu, but you can more or less gauge because the rate of growth is almost similar. But we can see that as it progresses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 years, you can see the different age of the horns, or the length of the horns. And that's in a waterbuck. On the other page here we've got the different sizes of buffalo as they age, and the shape of their horns as they age, and also the incisor teeth on the lower jaw. It's not easy to get a buffalo to open wide and have a look at their incisors, so not an easy way to tell age, unless of course it's a dead buffalo. Tim Caulfield's Wilderness Guardian, a really incredible book. African Wildlife Foundation and the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust. This is really incredible. I mean, it's got all sorts of things from building and construction. It goes on to stuff about the workshop and how to lay out a workshop, onto things like pulling vehicles over, getting vehicles out of sticky situations. Of course, you need winches for that, which we didn't have. What else is there? The workshop. There's stuff about boating, which came in handy when I used to work on boats. Stuff about the office. Notice there are not many pictures about the office. Why? Because the office is just all about paper and stuff anyway. Stuff about aeroplanes and airstrips, water, wind and energy, surveying and field measuring techniques, camping on safari and bushcraft, practical advice on home and workshop, ecology, natural history, medical notes, veterinary notes, ammunition and hunting, of course that has to be there, photography, anti-poaching, capture and care of wild animals. So there's a lot in this book that is a lovely practical hand guide for those of us living in the bush, from a man who has been there and done it. Hello Tim, Nice to see you. So, here's Nick and Helen. Hello. Nick, I presume.
Yes, this is I.
Or Livingston. How you going? Good.
Morning. Are you guys on?
I'm just showing. I had a question about elephant teeth, and I've got the different stages of elephant tooth. So I was just doing book stuff. Yeah. So those 5 cats. I suppose Ryan spoke to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, by the airstrip there, bro.
Arethusa Safari. Yes, it must be somewhere. I don't know that property at all. But the Juma vehicles are allowed to go there every now and then when they've got cats. But those are the tracks I found on Impala
Yeah.
Road.
But there should be some. I'm sure there's others.
Yeah. I might head up to Buffelshoek Dam. Also, go and look for those other 2, 3. But now I'm going to go look for your rhino that you found.
Yeah, it was pretty chill.
Chucked sort of from Treehouse Dam.
Yeah.
He went up. Okay, that's east.
We went
Yeah.
sort of northeast from the dam.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
the block.
Probably around Chelapan maybe.
He was very chilled out.
Maybe I must, because his tracks are here. Must have come from here past the dam, which means it's probably Shorthorn. The dude we call Shorthorn. Especially his second horn is just a little stump.
Just chilled out.
Yeah, it's very relaxed.
Yeah.
There's a crash of 5 or sometimes 6 of them together that we often see. They've even been here. And there are 2 rhino in that group that have got really nice long horns.
Oh, stunning.
One that's called Longhorn and one called Skewhorn.
I was telling him about that time when I was watching when at Treehouse Dam when that 5th rhino came across.
Oh yeah,
by the way.
that was pretty awesome. Suzanne was on camera and she got quite a fright. Suzanne, are you watching? You're in Peru. Okay, bye.
Enjoy it.
Later. That kudu. There's that kudu. That Lucas. Hello. You haven't moved much, have you, madam? And there's a youngster further back. Chewing bubblegum. What's that lying down? Is it another kudu lying down? Yeah, it is. Just amongst those dried leaves. Must be her calf. There's another calf at the back there. Must be another female around. That's a young one that's feeding. And that's a mom. And just behind her, hidden in the grass, I just saw an ear move. It'd be hidden by all the dead leaves from the camera though. What was that?
What?
Huh?
What?
I just heard a bang.
No, it just moved.
No. Beverly. Bonjour. Beverly. What would be the likely cause of death for that old Ellie? And how many years would he have? Oh, he's not that old. I'm probably older than him. But his cause of death is likely to be old age. Tooth wear. That is what an elephant... Elephants actually don't die of old age. They lose their teeth and then they can't eat the type of things that they need to eat to survive properly. And so they kind of starve with full stomachs. Because they can't eat the roughage, the bark and the branches, and they can't chew the really rough stuff that their digestive system needs. Look at this pretty little thing. young kudu. I'm just looking. There only about 7 stripes on this calf, and Mom had about 12 stripes on her flank. But yeah, that big bull was probably only in his 30s. Sorry, who was that, and what was that last one, Craig? Michelle wants to know how long they take to digest their food. I couldn't answer that, Michelle, because it's a difficult question to answer. It is a question that can be answered, and I know that there are people who have given elephants these capsules that have got transmitters in them to record things like that, temperature and all sorts of things, and the elephant swallows it, and then they got to go and farm around with little baggies to try and dig in elephant dung to try and find that capsule to read the data. But I don't know what the time frame is. You know, the digestive system is it's constantly turning over material as elephants take in stuff, so it starts coming out at the end. They don't digest very much of what they take in. Very small percentage of the food that they take in is that it's like between 25 and 30%. Of course, a lot of it depends on what it is that they're taking in. I mean, if they're taking in things like bark and branches, there's not much of that they're digesting. It's more that's used as roughage. And then, by the same token, when they're eating grasses and things, I'm sure that they're probably digesting a lot more from the lush green grasses of summer. So it's difficult for me to say. Being out in the field and not having access to the sort of kind of scientific methods that scientists have, I can't really give you a clear, concise answer. It's beautiful. There's an oriole that was sitting at the back there, but I don't know if we're going to get it. No. Black-headed oriole. Large bird in a tree in the distance. It's got his head tucked under its wing. Let's go down Rebecca's Road and have a look just a little ways. Looks like it's a vulture. There are 2 guard birds in the tree down there. Looks like there could be 2 vultures. And there's another one, looks like there's a 3rd vulture. And now I'm starting to get suspicious. One vulture can be written off as a vulture just roosting because... Don't move, squirrels. How many times have we seen these 3 little squirrels sitting on this little termite mound? And the 3rd one always disappears. There it is at the base, going up the marula tree. Okay. Now, as I was saying, one vulture could just be a vulture roosting because it's cool weather and there are no thermals and it's hard for a vulture to stay aloft, so they don't really fly. In fact, not many raptors will be flying on a day like today. Two vultures, well, it could just be a pair that were roosting together, but I'm seeing a third and there might even be more. So I'm starting to get suspicious that there is something here that the vultures have been busy with or are waiting to be busy with. My guess is they might have arrived here yesterday and slept overnight. Three, maybe even four vultures. The only thing is that it's very difficult. Excuse me. That frog again. Very difficult to try and find where exactly the vultures are looking or what they're looking at. When they're vultures on the ground, it's easy because they cackle and they make a noise and they fight, shout and scream. But when they're just a few vultures sitting in a tree spread out over a couple of 100 meters, it's almost impossible to tell where it could be, what it is that they're watching. But there are several vultures down here now. Hello, Craig. Would I agree that elephants are vital to the ecology in terms of modification? I can't remember the words of Craig, but basically modification of habitat, restoring grasslands, controlling canopy growth. Very much so. You know, these are things that have evolved together over millions of years. So the cycles of trees and elephants has reached a point where they go hand in hand. Bush without elephants just gets way too thick and moribund. Somehow I want to go and have a look in here if we can. I'm ready to go and see. There's got to be half a dozen vultures in there now. Some that are sitting in lower trees. There are no tracks here, so I'm wondering if maybe something didn't pass away. Maybe there's a leopard kill, but there are no signs of lion in this part of the world, so I don't think there's a lion kill.
I didn't get that. All I got was the animals prefer. Somehow tapping out a lot. The roads, is it Carrie asking if animals prefer the roads? Something here. There's definitely something here. It's a matter of whether we can find it or not. Carrie. I think Carrie was asking if animals prefer walking on the roads. To some extent they do. It's open, it's quiet, it's soft. No. Different times. Oops, big log. Yeah, well, most of the vultures were here. There was one on a lower tree just down here. Sorry vultures, I know you're probably going to be cursing me for the rest of the day. We'll come back that way. Just going to look around here for now. Maybe in the drainage line. Big, thick tree here. Amy and Diana. Do we see giraffe? And do their ears get cold? Is that the question? It's a little, sorry, I don't know about ears getting cold. I'm sure they do. And is it true that they communicate via a frequency that we cannot hear? Well, there is a theory about that, Amy, Diana. There is a theory about giraffe communication. I don't know if it's been proven yet. Let's look into that. Have a look down into the drainage line. But yes, we do have Giraffe. We actually had a wonderful morning with Giraffe a couple of days ago. And we might be lucky to find Giraffe today. Huh? Lots of oxpeckers up ahead. Hello little drongo, what are you doing? You don't have a very good foothold, do you? No, I won't get through there either. We'll just have to try and squeeze through here. Go on, catch it, catch it. There you go, the oxpeckers I was hearing. Must be those buffalo that hang out here. 3 or 4 bulls that are around. But we're going to see this. This is serious. A big chunk of bush willow blocking the wheel, and now it's going to be awkward, but let's see if we can do this. I'm going to have to forward and then forward. There's nowhere to go forward.
Go forward.
I have to try. Connie! Morning, Connie. Now I've got to remember what Connie was asking. Gee, my brain is fried. Come sit on my finger. It will hunt much better. Come. Come. I guess I gotta give up. Thing is, you see, no vultures have taken off from the ground, which means that none of these vultures were feeding. And what could be, I guess, a remote possibility that there was a vulture here. So another vulture came to have a look, see what the first vulture was looking at. Meanwhile, there wasn't anything to look at all. It was just a vulture that got tired and wanted to just spend the night here. So other vultures arrived on the scene, thinking there was something. It turned out there was nothing, but they all just ended up spending the night in the same place. Could be. Because I'm really not finding... I haven't smelt anything. We've done a big circle around this area, and we're right underneath the tree now where some of these vultures were sitting. I'm not smelling anything. That tells me there's been a kill or a dead animal. Normally when you find vultures in a tree and none of them on the ground, that is sometimes an indication that there's still a predator on the kill. But as it is, there hasn't even been a vulture on the ground, because sometimes even though a predator might still be on the kill, you might still find a predator, or at least a vulture or two hopping around on the ground. The other thing that I haven't noticed that would be a telltale is the presence of hooded vultures, or a hooded vulture. I haven't seen any. There were only white-backed vultures. So maybe it was a little group that were just overnighting here. But I'm at a loss. I'm not finding anything. I'm not smelling anything. I'm not hearing anything. This afternoon, I'm sure this will burn open maybe in the sky. Are you still with us, Drongo? Good show. I'm hoping that Kabir wanted to know if elephants have a territory like lions and things to defend. No, elephants don't, Kabir. Elephants go where they want, when they want. They have particular areas that they use different seasons because they know the trees there. They basically they know the area. They know what trees are fruiting. There was a question I missed because I got out of the car and I forgot it when I got back in the car. Stuck. Maybe we can squeeze through here. No, maybe not. Maybe we can squeeze through there. Is it high enough for the camera though? Craig, good question just before Kabir's question. Highly upset with myself if I get a puncture after that. Maybe hyenas killed something and they left the scraps. We just couldn't find. I didn't hear hyena. I think it was night before last on a kill. seeing the rhino tracks here yet. Time to fix the touch too. Let's go up to Treehouse and back down the other side. Rhino was up this way a long time ago, at least 2 hours ago. But he could be anywhere by now. Another thing about those vultures, often when there is a kill or an animal, a dead animal, a carcass, and vultures are hanging around to feed on it, and they get disturbed, they won't fly very far. They'll fly to another tree because they don't want to leave the area. All of those vultures that were there actually flew away. My guess is that they were on a kill, or they were on something probably not too far yesterday, and they all ended up spending the night together in the same area. See an elephant at the dam. Of course, you know why all the elephants are here. Wow, we've got elephants coming out of our ears. Coming to say goodbye. Hippo sleeping on the other end. Just a little boy. Let's watch him from this side. Sorry. A young bull in his teens. I'm gonna try and put, I should have parked at a different angle because now I can't open the bonnet. Put some clutch fluid in. Although if he stops I can do it. He's not stopping. Looks like he's smelling the presence of other elephants. Getting all sorts of signals as to who might have been there. Seb, I'm just going to move angles quickly, and I can quickly, while we're watching, and if I can, I can't, actually I don't think I can because I've got no clutch. That's about as best I can do. without a clutch. Right, let me put some fluid in while you're watching elephant. If he doesn't mind, I'm sure he won't.
Shows mine.
He saw me. Yeah, I also thought I heard.
Breaking branches.
Could be the herd maybe that he belongs to, and being a teenager he just hangs out on the edge of the herd. Be interesting to see if he goes up that end, because the hippo's sleeping up that way and I don't think he knows the hippo's there. And the hippo will move and he'll get a fright, and we're going to have to... Can you see hippo from where you are? Oh, I knew that was going to happen. They both got a fright. And now we need to move to see the hippo better. Well, he shakes his head at the hippo. Well, he shook his head at me. See if we can just move a bit. Yeah. Now that the hippo is safely in the water, the elephant's getting stroppy. Ooh, harvested termites are busy today. That's what the question was earlier. Was it Connie, I think? Asking about termites. Termite mounds, are they all dead or what happens? I think it was. That's what it was. That was... He's getting very brave, elephant now, yeah. Hippo's underwater, now the elephant's getting very brave. He's a youngster, so he's not too sure about things. But he does want to. Oh, the geese are coming in for a water landing. See if we can get them.
No.
And they're going to go round for another take. Aborted the landing. Going round for another pass. Ooh, hippo's coming close. Ah, they aborted that landing too. Try another pass. Need to get a bit lower than that, geese. Looks like they're moving on back to Gowrie Dam. Given up on Treehouse. Hello, hippo. He didn't like what I said. Might just come bursting out of the water. No, it's moving away, yeah. Don't frighten the elephant. Tasting the water. Is he going to drink it? Yeah. Okay. Onward ho. Yo. Funny. And over Treehouse Dam. I wonder if he's going to go to the it's a bit early for mud. Gowrie gang were here. Wish the Gowrie gang would stay here. They're the elephants we heard. More elephants deep in the bush here on our right. We're hearing them from the dam. What's that running? Nyala. Nyala bull. Two big bulls. Can't really try and get to see him just before he disappears.
Okay, I'm going to change the battery.
Okay, I'm gonna lose picture. Lost picture and we lost the Nyala. So, I'm just trying to just trying to think. That question about the termites was, are they all dead termite mounds? And I think, where did the termites, I think that was it. Where did the termites go? What happens to them? Well, I think it was Connie. Some of the termite mounds are dead. I'll show you what a dead termite mound looks like. I'll show you what a living termite mound looks like. Now, I said earlier when we were watching that elephant that the harvester termites are busy today. They don't make a mound. In fact, unless the harvester termites are busy, you don't even know that they're there, because they don't have any indication of where their colony is. Here's another elephant. Just in case you didn't see an elephant today, here's an elephant. This is an African elephant. Female. Mama. Mom. Mommy. Ma. Morning, madam. Your Grace. I know your food's more important than me. You're all gonna have to come up to Timbavati, you hear? All you all. Yeah, she's using her foot. Trying to stand on it so that she can break it in half. There you go. Well done. More family members deeper in. You can see some calves through the bushes. There's another female behind her. But I still want to try and catch up with the rhino. I think this afternoon we're going to have fun with elephants. Bye bye girls. Bye. See you later maybe. Termite mounds, for these termites, the species that makes these pointed mounds, this particular species of termite is highly vulnerable to the elements, unlike the harvester termites I was talking about. I'm going to see if I can find you some harvesters again, because if there was some moving about, there must be every one of them is doing the same thing, and they're harvesting dry grass stalks, taking them underground for their fungus gardens. Oh my word. Remember I was counting all the tree orchids. I'm so sorry I didn't see this before, because it might be too late to save it. Over the last 2.5 years, we knew about the 2 tree orchids that we have, one here on Elephant Skull, and we have that other one on Rebecca's Road. And over the last 1.5 years, 2 years, I've been finding random little tree orchids in trees. And this wattle is one tree that I found. This one, it was still alive. Elephants must have pulled it out, because elephants have been feeding on this wattle. There's still a little bit of, I can't show you from this angle. I can try and get to show you. I'd have to turn around. We can do that. There's still a piece of this tree orchid growing there. But sadly, I've only found this now. I wish I could have found it earlier, because it might be dead. It might be beyond resuscitation. There's still a little bit of green down here, but I doubt whether I can revive it. I do have green fingers, but they're not this green. I would have loved to have been able to save this orchid. Oh, such is life. Things live and die. This particular orchid would have been an offspring of the orchid on Elephant Skull Road. Let's just have a look at, I'll show you what's left of it. And in years to come, somebody might eventually see it again. But on the main trunk, I don't know if you can see it, on the main trunk there's a fork coming out towards us. It's on the next fork.
You might need to go a little bit down. A little more, yeah.
Just a tiny piece of it left in this tree. Just in case somebody took a photograph of it the first time I found it, you can compare it to this, what's left. That's all that's left. Okay, let's go down to Twin Dams Road. I still want to see if I can find this rhino, and it is sort of normal that we find rhino with 5 minutes to go before end of drive.
Is that gain still on 18? No, because I left it on 18.
There's the adult, there's one of the biggest orchids that we've got on the property. In the dead tree, forward a bit, there. That's the very big one, which is probably the parent plant of these little ones that I've seen growing in some of the trees down here on Elephant Skull Road. Okay. Ambient door of Weaver's Nest. So, back to termites. Sorry, did I give you a fright? These pinnacle mounds that we see, if it is completely whole on the outside without any entrances, then you know it's a living termite mound. The ones that we see the mongoose living in, those are the ones that have lost their outer shell, and the mongoose are then occupying all the tunnels within the termitarium. Let's see. Either now or later, see if we can find you good examples of each. Mr. Shorthorn, where are you? I'm going to catch him on the midden at Twin Dams Road, midden at the junction of this road, Twin Dams Road. Very big rhino midden there. He might be leaving a message. Might also be crossing through to Chelapan the other way. Nothing new here at the midden. The rider hasn't been here for a while actually. Things. Randy, good morning. Do elephants eat roots for water or nutrition? And it's a bit of both, Randy. This time of the year, the trees that have a lot of moisture in their roots, but with that moisture comes a lot of nutrition. There are a lot of the trees, the reason why they're losing their leaves is because they're storing a lot of nutrients in their roots. They're not photosynthesizing, they're not going through that process. So, well, partly because it's so dry, and to have, in such a dry climate, to have moisture and nutrients in your leaves is just asking for trouble. You're just wasting it, because don't have rain, you don't have that moisture replacement. So a lot of the roots store the nutrients and water. Yeah, you could take a marula root. Maybe if you could get a piece about as thick as my forearm or a forearm, not a bodybuilder's forearm, but take a piece of marula root about 3-4 inches in diameter, maybe a bit bigger, cut it about a meter long, string it up. You'll actually get water dripping out of it and actually extract water, a bit of water from it. I have to say I've never done it. This is what I believe, I've been taught. Maybe next time an elephant pushes over a marula tree and I can get it a piece of the root, I'll try it. Everywhere. Chela pan. Annette was asking about frogs. Annette, Chela pan is frog pan. Chela is frog in Shangaan. Can't show you bullfrogs now this time of the year. Don't know where they go. They're kind of hiding under the mud. Won't be able to see them. They have these cavities that they create for themselves under the clay and they estivate. Come summertime, we'll see bullfrogs again. We're on Twin Dams Road. It's about time to say goodbye. I'm just going to wait until we get to Gari Dam. I'll say goodbye at Gari Dam. Just in case there's something on Twin Dams Road on the way back to Gari Dam. Something that I can show you. That last minute animal. Processionaries, yeah. Quite close to the road actually. Processionary caterpillars on the tip of a branch. One of the vultures that we had on Rebecca's Road must have landed up there. Seeing another vulture. It looks like one of the vultures that we had. I recognize its face. has been rather a mellow morning. Setting the tone for the weekend, perhaps. I was hoping that maybe the sun would have burnt things open by now. This cloud is a little heavier than I thought at 5 o'clock this morning. Oh, might get a bit of sunshine by the afternoon drive. Might find some things moving around by then. But up until then, some of you are going back to bed, or haven't even been to bed yet. 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, 12:30 in the morning, California. Some of you are waking up to your Friday. Hope you're going to have a wonderful day. TGIF and all. So have a wonderful day, have a wonderful sleep. Just no leopard for us. I guess not. So, thank you very much for joining us this morning. My name is Mark, was Mark. I've been Mark. I'll be Mark again this afternoon. See, it's like I've been up at 3:30 in the morning. Thanks Seb for camera work. Thanks Craig, final control. Tara, putting the kettle on. Or Tara's also been in final control, I think. All of us here at Wild Earth Safari, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you later. 3:30 Central African time. Bye.